Let's talk about Bitcoin being on a rip. Let's talk about gold's moving north. And let's talk about stock markets again, on a rip. What on earth is going on in the world?
Well, I mean, you could say the stock market's having a nice little bounce, but gold being on a rip, I mean, it's still below where it was in November 2017. Going up $60 an ounce is not on a rip. Gold is not on a rip. Now, when Bitcoin goes from 4,000 to 9,000, now that's a rip, not $100 in 1,300. Yeah, it's gone up, whoop-de-doo, but look at the chart. I mean, it's not really moved at all. So gold, grumpy old men like us love it, but it's not going anywhere. I like gold. I love it. I've got watches that are gold. I've got coins that are gold. Gold's nice, but as an investment vehicle, it's really, really not that good at all. And it's not going to go far, because gold is the sort of thing people buy when the world is in trouble. And these days, it's so much easier, so much better to buy cryptocurrency. Why not buy Bitcoin? Why not? I mean, it's easier to bury than a kilo of gold. It's a lot safer than a kilo of gold. Where do you put gold? It's expensive. You've got to lock it up in banks. You've got to bury it in your basement, all that nonsense. Where Bitcoin is a tiny thing. You can keep it on an exchange. It's just much better for that flight capital, for that preserving of long-term value than gold is. It won't transplant gold Bitcoin, but it will be a parallel asset in that area. And I can't get excited about gold. You told me it was on a rip, and I thought, what have I missed? I look at the chart, it's barely moved. I mean, no.
Okay, well, there are some commentators calling for a move up to $3,000.
Yeah, there is some commentators on Bitcoin calling for a move up to $250,000. But, where's it going to go? I mean, it would be a nice move, but I can't even find a good place to invest in gold, to be honest with you. All the gold mines, they've got silly valuations. Gold's not so bad. Silver's quite interesting, but in comparison with the sort of fun you can have with equities, now there's something that's interesting. The fun you can have with crypto, now that's even more interesting. It's a dead duck.
Okay, in terms of the equity markets, Federal Reserve talking rumours of maybe having some interest rate cuts this year, up to 3 of them. What's your take on that?
Well, I think there's a very good chance we might get a splurge of inflation coming along. I'm seeing prices wherever I go suddenly jump. I mean, I don't know whether the Fed's seeing that. I don't know whether the central banks are seeing that and looking at it, preparing to see the other way. So interest rate cuts, probably. I mean, they're now addicted to QE as a tool for all ills, and quite right too. It's been very, very good. So QE, that's the new way of manipulating the economies of the world. It's no longer the kind of hammer of Thor that interest rates are. I mean, back in the day when the credit crunch happened, it amazed me that they were moving interest rates at 0.25% when they were only like 3%. I mean, it's a massive change, moving things at 10, 15, 25% of the overall market in interest rate cuts. And, with QT, they can just tweak it gently, in minute jumps. So, whereas in the past you might have looked at interest rates as the thing to watch for economic change, now I think it's not about interest rates. It's just about liquidity. So if they cut it, they put it up. I mean, it's not really a big deal. When you think about it, the consumer is not really that much affected by an interest rate cut. If he's got a mortgage, perhaps. But, most people are paying 15, 20, 25% interest on their loans. Even car loans are 7, 8%. So a quarter point here, a quarter of a point there, that works at the level of bankers, at the level of corporations. And liquidity is way more important to them than the actual quantum of interest. So it's down to QE or QT. And in this case, the Fed is ending QT in September, and that will be the pedal off the brake. Now, whether they put the pedal on the accelerator, we're doing some QE. And of course, there's lots of gadgets in QE. They can twist, they can untwist. There's lots of things they can do. They can bend the curve any way they like. These are really the controls now on the world economy, what they're doing to the liquidity of money rather than the cost of borrowing it.